Kyle, here goes your tire.
You could have at least put the front ones on the back.
Moving you right day and night.
And we're supposed to be powered by science.
That's very true.
We better be able to get two people somehow.
Here it comes. Yep, that's it.
Because every time I'm in his office, he's sitting there and all of a sudden he just reaches like this and there's a piece of chicken in his hand.
I'm like, how much chicken is under your desk?
I overshot the R&D budget this week, so I'm going to need that $250.
Moving it right day and night.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. I'm Kyle. This is Aaron. We're on episode what?
87.
All right. This is the COVID edition number 9 or something.
Something.
So the short version is we have been busier than snot lately.
We have been. Oh, you know what you look like? You see the two ferns?
Oh.
What show is that? Yeah. Yeah, we've been kicked out of our normal spot.
Yeah.
You want to explain why? You're going to lead today. You
was-
lasted like 10 seconds.
It's more normal. We moved the studio. We ripped down the studio and made packing stations for all of this hand sanitizer. We have been getting 2 to 3 orders a day, so we need the room, we need the space.
It's been going crazy. So we created a whole new packing station, and we're now in the lobby. We've been out here before though, a couple times.
I haven't.
It's nice to have some direct light. So
on the gloomiest day.
definitely another busy week here at Hot Shot Secret, which could be an understatement.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
It's definitely an understatement. So we got a great show today. We're going to be highlighting our lubricity additive LX4, helping you understand what it does and the difference between it and EDT.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It needs to be discussed. And 2 lucky viewers will be getting some LX4. We'll also be answering your questions, comments. Post them below like we always do. We will get to those, and that's what we're really here for. We're really here for to answer your questions, but we fill it in with info when you don't ask questions. But when you do ask questions, you get free products. So there's some encouragement there.
So if I ask questions, I'll get some free stuff.
No, you still got to pay. You get a discount, though.
I do.
Yeah. Yep. So want to know where you're watching from. Aaron's still looking for someone from South Dakota. Anybody out there from South Dakota, let us know.
It's an automatic winner.
There you go.
Yeah.
All you have to do is tune in from South Dakota.
That's
You get some LX4 apparently. Right.
Yeah.
Send us a picture of your ID. We want to see or a local utility bill. So we're dual streaming. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure you like and share the video. Click the little bell so you get notified. We're here every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This is so odd being on the opposite side of the table.
It is feel weird.
I keep pointing at you and you're not there.
There you go. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. So we got our weekly tech tip. Are we going digital again? I hear we're going digital. It was a hit last week.
It was a good time.
All right, so I see that it's going to be changing the rear diff oil in a 2014 Chevy 2500. And we got a video tech tip. Let's roll it, Levi.
Hi, this is Tom from LSI Garage. Today I want to show you how to change your rear differential oil in your pickup truck. We have our shop truck on the lift. It's a 2014 GM product. We're going to use our Blue Diamond severe duty gear oil. Once we get her drained out, I'll show you how to do this. Just let her drain here for a minute. I'm gonna take the fill cap off too here, so you fill it up, and I'll give it some chance to vent. Might drain quicker. The factory doesn't really give us a interval on how often to change this. This truck's got, I believe, over 150,000 on it, and it gets used pretty hard. So it's best to be safe than sorry. We're gonna let it drain for a couple minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, I'll put the plug back in it. Got it drained out. Oil in it looked pretty decent for being 150,000 miles. You can get these guns from Harbor Freight or just about anywhere, and they're not very expensive. Yep, it's right there. You stick your finger in and you can just barely touch it. That's right where it should be. It starts to run over the edge. Put the plug back in it. Snug it down. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching our video.
So there you have it. Big thanks to
And we're back.
our buddy Tom Perini.
How does he do that stop motion?
I don't know, it's impressive. But there you go. It's that's a pretty easy one. The rear diff on that one. But we got a lot of tech tips like that going up. I know we're doing everything, like every type of like maintenance, and so it's not just Hotshot Secret. Obviously, there's some great products you used in that video. I noticed.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yeah. And I heard a comment previously that truck went 88 miles an hour pulling a trailer without all of the Hot Shots fluids. Is that correct?
Also the brakes. I was trying to get over PRA, or so the officer said. But thanks to Tom Perini. There's your weekly tech tip: changing the rear diff on a Chevy 2500 2014 year. And it is time for our weekly Get to Know Us segment. I just try to make you feel awkward. Come on in, Kristine. I'll slide over.
Bro, I'm still on camera.
You can grab your chair. Come on in.
It's a great camera angle.
We got wide angle. So this week we got Kristine from our sales department. So why don't you tell them which territory do you got? Come on in.
I have the Midwest, and actually my territory ranges from anywhere in Wisconsin all the way down to Texas.
Kind of like the center strip of the country.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Got a lot of great dealers out there, and got a lot of great people I've been talking to over the years.
Cool. And you actually worked with us a while ago, and then you left and came back.
I did. Just goes to show just how good the company is. And I told Chris I would be back after I left. I was actually one of the lucky, fortunate ones to start with the company. And I actually was able to work a few years, and then I wound up having to leave because I had children in school and I couldn't do the traveling they wanted me to. And I've come back, and this definitely will be my retirement.
And you had the fun part where I remember you telling me when you were first here, you were at like a table with like Don like right there. You're like, wow, you got an office now.
Absolutely.
How far we've come.
Exactly. And yeah, we divided by glass partitions, sitting at a table, and now we each actually have our own office. It's been great.
We've come a long way. All right, so we got 10 questions for you.
All right.
And everybody's going to learn a little bit more about Kristine today. Where were you born?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wasn't last week's Minnesota?
I don't remember last week. That was a long time ago.
No. It was Michigan. It was Johnny.
That's same thing.
Same thing. Close enough. Where did you grow up?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. What was your first job?
Working at a summer camp in Belle Fountain, Ohio for YMCA.
Huh. That's the first time we've heard that one. What was your first car?
Do I have to admit?
Yeah.
It was a Ford Capri, or as we called it in high school, my Ford Crappy.
Ah. Yeah, I agree. Did you play sports growing up?
Yes, I did.
What'd you play?
I was more of the swimming and diving and gymnastics. I didn't do any of the baseball or softball or basketball or anything of that sort.
So diving, was it like high diving or like
Springboard.
springboard flipping and stuff? You still do that?
Sometimes.
Really? Okay, well.
Have you ever pulled off the triple Lindy?
No, I have not. But no. But where I live, we have a springboard that the kids like for me to go out and just kind of show off a little bit every once in a while.
Do you have video you can share next week?
I doubt it. You wouldn't want to see it.
I want to see it. What's your favorite hobby?
Probably just being outside and hiking and anything outdoors, camping, things of that sort.
Good one. Favorite holiday?
That's a toss-up between Christmas and Easter, actually.
Okay, those are common. We hear those. Favorite beverage?
I would probably say a good Grey Goose.
I concur. Favorite TV show or movie?
That's a hard one. I would probably say just a lot of the sitcoms that were playing in the 70s and 80s just kind of brings back a good laugh.
Agreed. I like those.
Yep.
And then the 10th one they never give me because I get to make it up each time.
Yeah.
So, he had like he had like 3 last time.
I can get one real quick.
Let's go for it.
What's your favorite type of chocolate?
Dark.
You do like eating chocolate in my office.
I do. Kyle's really well stocked. To be honest with you.
That's the only reason she visits you.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, but it's true. My question is going to be, what is the biggest difference from your first stint at Hot Shots and and working now, from a perspective of like where the brand sits?
Actually, when I was first here, there were only like 4 or 5 products we were selling. So
Right.
when I came back and you're in oils and everything else, it was a little overwhelming. So I feel like I still got a little bit way to learn where I was on top before, where now I'm kind of at the bottom.
Yeah, the 4 products knocked out.
Yeah, and so now I'm just kind of relearning all the other products right now. And
Yeah.
I've got another 17 in the lab, so
absolutely.
Some color.
Yes, you
A
might
lot
want
of learning for
to catch up.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a lot easier to sell when a lot of people didn't know who we were back then. And so
Yeah.
it's nice when people are calling in saying, "Hey, love your products," or before, people's like, "Who are you?"
Right.
So it's like, Hot Shot Secret.
Well.
So it's just been great. So that's been the big thing of being able to come back and of course, being proud of the company itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we have great people, and we're always focused on, what can we do for others, and it's just a great company.
Well, any shout outs you want to give? Any plug? People maybe should call you if they want some.
If you guys are looking for hand sanitizer,
Oh.
please call us.
We got lots of that.
We got lots in stock. We're shipping daily, and give us a call and see what we can do for you.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks, Kristine. That's
Thanks.
getting to know us
All right. Thank
with
you.
Kristine.
All righty.
Now get back to work. Your phone's ringing. I hear it. I hear it. All right. Chocolate, 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 chocolate. So that's Kristine. She's great. On tour of duty number 2 here. So that's pretty cool when an employee comes back after a long break like that. So dealer shout outs.
Davis Diesel in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and
Davis Diesel and DK Diesel in Dubuque.
somewhere in Iowa.
Dubuque way? Dubuque. Oh, look at that. We got look
Whoa.
at stepping his game up.
Man.
We got on-screen logos. And I'm still messing up. Dubuque. Something somewhere in Iowa. Welcome, BK Diesel. I promise I will get it. Actually, it says DK Diesel. I'm glad you got the logo up there. BK Diesel. I was going to say I didn't recognize DK. So Davis Diesel Services, BK Diesel, welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys. And no dealer wall today because we got kicked out of
Well,
the...
let's put a sticker on anyway.
Just throw it on the wall.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'd do it.
I'll
Let's
take
catch
the
up
heat.
on our... let's see who's in today. Chad Myers is in. Dan Zeldins. Josh
forgot to say
McCarrick, what's up, Josh? How you doing, man? Terry Howard's wishing us a happy Hot Shot Secret Day, as he always does, down there in Pensacola. You'll be in the parking lot next week. No kidding, Ron. We just keep getting pushed out, pushed out. They'd have us in the basement if we had one here. Ryan, the robot scientist, Riddles in. Mr. Irwin's out there. What's up? I'm in New Mexico. Getting closer. Zach Hype says, I'm here for the COVID-19 hotshot boat bull cut. We're talking about it. I know. I heard we were going to have barbers open tomorrow, and then I heard they just took it off. So I might still have COVID hair next week. Hopefully not. Aaron Anderson, hey, y'all from the great Mitten State. There you go. Aaron Anderson, I think yep. Brian Glenn, Columbus, Ohio, local. Chad Myers, hand sanitizer works well. Helps you find all the cuts and cracks in your hands. It is potent. If you do have a crack in your head, you're going to feel it. Dan Zelton says he identifies from South Dakota today.
Identifies doesn't count with me.
Dan, we tried. Chad's over there in Lima, Ohio. Chad Myers, 73. Mary Pollock's watching, or...
I think didn't Don get his own account though?
I heard Don, he said he did. He said normally it is.
Didn't.
It is Mary. But she has watched. She very rarely comments. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. You can comment.
Yep.
We don't mind.
Toot is witching. I noticed you were witching another video. Watching, I think he means.
Oh.
I think, because he
Well, I
keeps
don't
saying he's
know.
witching videos. But glad to have you on, Toot. I think, did you call Toot today?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I need to call him back, though.
Okay. Yeah, Toot, we got your oil analysis in. Aaron was going to call you and go over that with you. So he'll do that. David Robinson says, hey, guy, I'm using your Blue Diamond 1540. I am. You sure are. That's awesome. That's the golden ticket right there. Doesn't get better than Blue Diamond. David, are you running a bypass filter? Curious. Because if you're running Blue Diamond, highly recommend a bypass filter. Really get all that out of it, because that oil can go a long, long time. Clinton Gaston, what oils do you have or in development for ethanol fuels?
One more time, I was zoned
What
out.
oils do you have or in development for ethanol fuels?
Well,
Ethanol fuels means
ethanol. Means hand sanitizer. I'm just kidding. We definitely have the Alky 60 plus for our adrenaline. A lot of the methanol guys run the Alky fuel.
right.
So any one of the adrenaline.
The adrenalines can work with it.
Yeah.
It really depends your how much dilution they're getting, right?
Yeah.
Because they tend to
Thin out quite a bit.
right, and that's why that 60 weight. And our 60 weight is a pretty heavy weight.
Yeah. There's no such thing as anything over 60, so that's why the plus is there.
You know what? That's an important point. Side note, the Alky 60 that we offer from Adrenaline, I was just talking to, actually I remember when we started working with Bill Lutz, Bill told me he was running a 70 weight, and I called BS on that. And there's some companies out there that will actually say, I even saw an 80 weight.
Right.
These high performance racing oils that are 70 and 80 weight, if you look at the spectrum, it doesn't even exist. Like,
Well, I know, but we do that to the gear oil, so don't.
but the gear oil's on a different spectrum.
Agreed, but it's the same.
Yeah, but a 90 weight gear oil is like a 40 weight engine oil, which is another unique thing, right? They overlap. So educationally today, here's your second tech tip of the day. When you're looking at weights of oil, people often confuse this. They think that you're looking at a 30, 40, 50 weight motor oil, and then they see the gear oils like 90 and 110, 140 weight. It's really not, I know. It's really not that much heavier. It's the same thing. They just put it in.
It's on a different scale, yeah.
Yeah, and they literally can put it on the same map, so you can know exactly what a 90 weight is equivalent to. So if you were in a bind and you needed gear oil, you could put like a 40
It's
weight,
50 weight.
50 weight motor oil in your gears. That's what it is. People are like, oh, you can't put 50 weight in. It's way too thin. Same stuff. I don't know why people do it. Let's see. Brian Fennell's in. Kim Ketchum says, our used Hot Shot Secret oil treatment a couple of years ago. Works great. Question I have, is the oil supposed to stay dark like the additive the whole I have to use it? Like I said, it's been a couple of years now, and my all stays dark all the time, even after I change it. You want to knock that one out?
No.
Chris had a really good explanation of this on his, he just did that podcast with Two Guys Garage. And they talked about it. Why diesel oil is like black instantly?
Instantly soot.
Well, tell the people.
Well, I didn't know what the answer was. What if he's using it in a gas vehicle?
I didn't say that.
I said, what if? I didn't.
Oh.
I need all the information before.
We don't
I
have
answer.
gas oil yet, so I'm assuming that's a diesel.
It said oil treatment. I thought you said.
Oh, okay. You win. Okay, you win. Kim, well, stop assuming.
We're gonna rumble.
Just answer the question straight. Kim, we're gonna assume it's a diesel vehicle you're talking about.
Yes, diesel oil is nasty within 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
The soot created by the combustion process gets in there and nasty.
It's nasty, and there's so much in there. That's why Stiction Eliminator is such a great product to actually give you a nice clean and flush out a lot of that carbon buildup and everything that's in there. Once you drain your oil and put fresh oil in, it's going to be dirty right away just from the remaining nasty oil that was in the motor there. And then once you run it through one cycle, the soot level just makes it. It's kind of like we say, if you have something as clear as this alcohol here and you put 1 drop of ink in it, I mean, it goes a long way. That's how the soot is. And then people that then step up to our bypass filters and run those down, and they strain down to 1 to 2 microns. Even with a bypass filter on, sometimes people will get our bypass filters that call us back and they'll say, well, my oil still looks dirty. Even at the 1 to 2 micron level, soot is smaller than that. You're never going to get.
It doesn't take much to make it look black
and trust me, we have people on our using our bypass filters, straining the oil down that low at 100,000 miles on the oil. It still looks black and it's still clean as can be. And we recommend them to keep going. There will be a point where that soot goes too far, and we recommend to change the oil. But just because your oil is dark does not mean it's dirty, or at least too dirty to run. It's just because soot is what it is. Another thing Chris always says is kind of like the finger test. We'll recommend if you stick your fingers in your oil, let them soak a little bit on there, and then wipe your fingers off with a rag. And if the oil comes off nice and clean, then you don't have too much soot in your oil. It's good to continue going. It's kind of the rule of thumb kind of test. If it leaves your fingerprints stained and you can kind of see your fingerprints real clearly in there, well, that's the soot that gets down inside your fingerprints, and that means you got a pretty good amount of soot in your oil. It's about time to change. Now, the scientific way we do that is through an analysis, but the old finger dip technique is, Chris swears that he's batting 1,000% on that. He can tell. Now, Kevin tastes it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Kevin tastes it.
He does. So, Kim, I hope we kind of answered your question there. Just because it's dark does not mean it's bad. The reason why it's dark after you change it is because everything is still in there and it's picking up a little bit, and it just makes everything look dark. David Sanders just changed all the fluids in my 07 Duramax a couple months ago. Hot shot secret for the win. Thanks, David. Longtime fan of the company. Clinton Gaston's answering, your oil is stale or will be black because you can't get all the oil out of the motor, and also turns black from EGR, which is true. You get the recirculation there. David Robinson, I'm around 27,000 miles on Blue Diamond and have changed the filter twice. My oil analysis coming back good, but the lead is a little high. How long do you think I should go with this oil? Okay, so no bypass, I'm assuming. David Robinson's running the Blue Diamond. He's at 27,000 miles on the oil. Analysis is looking good, but the lead's a little high.
It's a good one.
We'd want to know why the lead's high.
Yeah.
The lead's one of those things.
You should also check for potassium, sodium.
Right.
Because there could be from the solder joints of the radiator, if there's no tin, then it's not bearings.
Right.
I learned that from Chris.
And it could be leaching from.
It could be leaching from any cooler or radiator.
So this is what's unique about when and I'm not smart enough, Aaron is, when they look at these oil analysis, a lot of times people might get scared because they'll see high lead like that, which right away they think lead, bearings, trouble. Yep. Well, we really need to see the whole oil analysis to give you a better picture. One doesn't really tell you everything, so lead sounds scary at first, but those bearings have a coating of tin on them, right? Is it tin?
Sure, they do now.
Is it tin? What is it?
They've got all kinds of stuff.
They got all kinds of stuff. But generally what we'll see is we'll start to see that tin level first, or the coating material first before it starts getting into the lead of the bearing itself. So if we see high lead but no other covering metals, then that's telling us, well, we're probably not talking about the bearing then. Let's look at something else. Where else would we find lead? One place we find lead is in solder. So a lot of the soldering can leach into the oil, just it naturally pulls off. And so we were looking that direction. So there's more to it than just looking at one, but that's, how long can you go with the oil, David? Essentially, the Blue Diamond's a PAO oil. That's a group 4 polyalpha olefin, so it's not going to come out of grade. So we can check that with, you can check with your oil analysis. It should be still in grade, so that's good. The only 2 other things that we're going to tell you are if it's too dirty or if your TBN level is dropped, which means your detergent package is down. We have a product for that. Is it out here? You grab everything but TBN booster?
I didn't grab anything.
TBN booster we have, and you can actually...
Oh, wait, there's more. Oh, hey, I have a microphone.
Microphone down. So under an oil analysis, we can check your...
The good thing about being in the lobby is we have
Everything's out
products.
here. Yep.
Look at that. There we go.
You're all over
Oh,
the
well,
place.
that's fine.
So we can look at the analysis and see if your detergent level's been used up. At 27,000 miles, you might need a little bit of touch-up on the Blue Diamond. Depends. We'll have to look at it. And it might be an ounce. It might be a little bit of the TBN booster. And that's just kind of refortifying the oil. As we like to say, if you're doing a sink full of dishes, you know I was going with this, right?
Yeah, that's
The Dawn dishwasher dishing soap.
Takes
After a
grease
while,
out
it
of
starts
it.
to run out of bubbles. Well, that's your 27,000 miles. We're going to say put another squirt of the good stuff in there. And that way your detergent can start battling the acids in the oil that diesels produce. So get your TBN up and just make sure it's clean. So it's hard for us to tell you exactly how long. But if we had a closer look at the report, we can tell you. Terry Howard says, great video. Thanks, man. We do like the new video tech tips. Cindy Fisher says, Cindy Fisher, Mom, they took your top fan badge away. Oh, no.
Just start sharing posts.
Hi, Kyle. We love
learned
you,
the
Mom
format.
and Kaylee. Kaylee's watching again. Say hi to my niece.
Hi, niece.
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
There you go. Mom, you got to work hard to get that badge back. It's all Levi. He told me he's stripping it. So James Bruce is in. Boy, you got kicked out of the video room. We did. Give her a mic. Oh, David Robinson. I guess we always forget about that. Yep, sorry. I hope you heard Kristine the whole time she was on. Oh, sorry. Frank got the...
Where is he from?
Iron Man's in... who? Michael Asher's from Hamilton, Ohio.
That asked about the... Let's try English.
Use your words.
About the... yeah, that was you earlier. About the mic, you asked?
Oh, David Robinson.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Find out.
You got a joke covered?
No, I just figured he could probably hear without the mic.
I see where you're going. I was thinking the same thing. Yep. Sorry about that. No, I was reading your comment. Brandon says, looking for gas products and the advantages of the products. All right, so when it comes to gas products, we're going to talk about one of them today. LX4 is good for gas. All of our oil side products are good for gasoline. So all of our oil additives are gas and diesel friendly. It's just on the fuel side that you either have to be gas or diesel, or a product like LX4, which is actually good in anything. Gas, diesel, alcohol, you name it. For Brandon, for gas products, we did release our Gasoline Extreme.
I was hoping it would fly
It's right there.
I was hoping it'd fly off the shelf.
Yeah.
It's
So
not.
we did release our Gasoline Extreme this past year, and it's the first time we released a fuel additive. Traditionally, we had stayed away from the fuel additive side of things because we generally will not put a product out unless we can prove it's far away the best on the market. And frankly, there is a lot of good gasoline additives out there. It's not as much you can do with the gasoline additives as you can do with a diesel additive, just because diesel fuel is so awful and garbage that there's a lot we do on the diesel side of things to treat the fuel as well as the diesel fuel system. Gasoline is a much more refined product, so gasoline is just pretty good to start with. So a lot of the gasoline additives out there are the type of stuff that give our industry a bad name. There's a lot of snake oil on the gasoline additive side of the market. So
There are some good ones.
there's some good ones, but we just kind of wanted to stay out of it until we ever got somewhere. We have people that asked us for years about it, and it wasn't until it's a pretty new chemical that came out, right? Yeah. That you guys discovered.
Of course.
And then these guys took it in the lab and they said, "This is a brand new chemical that's out.
Look!
Look at this baby we found." And next thing you know, they're testing on it and they're seeing gains that we had never seen before that we could take to the marketplace and position far higher than anything that's out there. So I highly recommend Gasoline Stream. It is a kind of one and done product because we use it once every 6 to 10,000.
Yeah.
6 to 10,000 miles. Unlike our diesel side, we have our Diesel Extreme, which you use every 6, 10,000 miles. Difference is we then run everyday diesel treatment in every single tank because we're treating the low sulfur diesel fuel. On the gasoline side, you don't need to do that. You just need to clean it out every 10,000 miles, and you're fine in between. There's nothing you can really do to improve the gasoline in between. This is going to clean out everything it touches. What's that?
I can.
What?
I can improve it every tank.
Oh, we know. LX4 will. That'll protect the fuel system.
Yeah, I've got other things.
I'm sure you do. He's got a lot of have. So, and one thing I'll say about Gasoline Stream, and this is kind of goes to, I probably shouldn't say this.
It's the only one that's orange. There, I said it.
That's true. So, I'll say this much. This goes to how we formulate products. We say this all the time. We don't put fillers in our products. We formulate to the extent that they allow us. The EPA puts regulations on how much product, actual active products you can put in a bottle. We got slapped on this one.
We did.
When we first put this out, EPA didn't like it. So the truth of the matter is, and they were actually pretty surprised because they're used to the snake oils of the world that put a drop of, the good active ingredient in, fill the rest up with, filler. What is the gasoline filler they use? Just like a...
Yeah, naphtha solvent.
Right. So they're used to seeing like 1%, 2% kind of stuff. Ours was way over the limit of what they wanted anybody to have in a bottle on the shelf at an auto parts store. And it came to the point where I'm pretty sure we changed the...
Yeah, we now have an
Is this the new label?
off-road formula, or off-road dosage.
Yeah, this is the... right, so... off-road dosage. This is a 32-ounce treats 40 gallons of gasoline. For small... I think our first dosage was... it was a 12-ounce bottle, right?
For 15 gallon.
For
tank.
15 gallons.
Yeah.
So EPA said, So that dosage is for off-road use only. You should not be putting that in your vehicle because...
To see 7.9% gains.
Yeah. do not do that. It's not good unless it's an off-road vehicle. I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, we're putting so much cleanser in there. It's doing such a good job cleaning, lubricating everything. But it's just a power punch for sure. So, Brandon, that's one of the advantages there. That's going to clean your fuel system out. We see great mile per gallon gains on it. And also LX4 is a lubricity product that's going to lubricate your entire fuel system, since the only lubrication your fuel system gets is from the gasoline itself. So that adds lubrication to it. We're going to talk about that a little more today. And then, of course, on the oil side of things, eliminator, FR3, great 1-2 punch for the gas vehicle as well. So we got you lined up. What we don't quite have is full-blown oil, except on the racing side for gasoline, but it's coming. But wait, there's more. It's coming.
No, don't put that out. Well, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I will say our gray diamond.
There you go.
Our gray diamond, our Euro oil, does have an SN spec.
It does.
So it is good for a lot of Euro gas and diesel specs.
Correct.
So we do have a gasoline oil out there, and our racing oil is good for gas too. So let's see. So Eric Wilkes says hello from Arizona. Love all your products. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, Eric. Thanks a lot, man. Frank Out Jr. says, "What's up, Kyle Fisher? See you guys Wednesday." That's right. I believe the Otts are bringing Iron Man here to Hot Shots next Wednesday.
What?
Yes. Did they just break those news?
I guess you did.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. So I know they're heading out to see, I think they're heading out to see Buster. They're going to do some racing out that way and passing through Ohio. So they're passing through like Cleveland. They're like, we'll swing by. I was like, cool, we can bring it in. So we might have some cool videos from them stopping by next week. My mom's asking what happened to her top fan rating and gave the crying face. Y'all are in trouble. You missed my mom. Yeah, that's right. He took it from my mom to give to his wife. That's what happened. All right, so Keith Menzing says, would you recommend adding LX4 to Gasoline Extreme for use in a 1960 Corvette 283 V8 instead of the lead additive I add to each tank? Boom.
I was going to say something really intelligent, but it's been a while. Are those the power pack heads? Just kidding. Not really. I would not add it with the Gasoline Extreme. I would use it between. But yes,
It's not going to replace
for
the
lead
that they're putting in.
additive, I don't think it would replace the lead additive.
I'd still add the lead. If you're looking for leaded fuel for an older car like that.
Or break down and get the hardened seats, but that's too much work.
Yeah. So there you go, Keith. Answer is stick with your lead additive. Yeah. If you want to stay with the leaded fuel, lubricity is not going to replace that.
Not.
Clinton Guy said, I'll send you a message for more specific details. Cool. Shelly Darnell. Oh.
Look, now both of our moms are watching.
So, Aaron, how can I get one of those cups you were drinking out of? I heard you say if you ask questions, you can win a prize. Does that count? If it does, I would like a mug. Actually,
Should I tell
styling
her?
today.
Should I tell her or not tell her?
You should tell her. He's jealous of mine.
So Kyle has all these fantastic cup holders, can holders, glasses holders,
I got them all.
mittens holders, you
got 'em
name
all.
it. This was a free sample of a mug that a printing company sent to us, and I slapped a Hot Shot sticker on it. So this is a custom, one of a kind.
Yeah, one off. You won't even give it to
Nah.
family.
Maybe when the COVID's over.
Oh, man.
I'll drop it off on the porch.
Ron Huntley Jr.'s got a gas engine question.
Uh-oh.
I have a 1.2 liter motor in a 2013 Spark with 95,000 miles with an auto transmission. I am unkind to this car, bracket racing it and driving it all over to my announcing jobs. Any 5W20 Dexos equivalent available. So a Spark, isn't that a hybrid?
Chevrolet, no.
No? So it's a 1.2 liter.
Probably runs about 6s and 8s, I believe. They're pretty quick.
Not that quick.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love how he's unkind to the car. Ron, we want to know the trap speed on it, by the way.
Yeah, I'll blame it on myself. We got behind in R&D, and so now there's new specs coming out. I think tomorrow for the SP.
Oh, really?
The GL6.
Right.
So we stopped so we could work on it again to meet the new specifications, and we are getting very close.
So you will have something.
We will.
At that 20 weight, too.
Yeah.
Because those are becoming really common. Are we going to have even a lighter weight as well? I know there's some 0.16s.
We might have a 0.20, a 5.20, and a 0.30.
Okay.
Or 5.30, sorry.
Okay.
But
And that would meet that Dexos equivalent then, right?
yes.
Well, there you go, Ron. Stay tuned.
Yeah, just
Sit tight. We got you. It's coming. I'll tell you what. I would just say, especially if you're bracket racing that thing, just pull those cats off and throw some Adrenaline 520 in there.
off-road.
Off-road use only. Guys are crazy. Jason Antonic says, hey guys, watched a couple of videos on how your fuel additives stacked up against some of the others. You were at the top on both. Was wondering what fuel additive you recommend for an LB7. 0166 Duramax, still running the Bosch injectors? Well, on the fuel side, we have this wonderful two-step process.
Step one.
Step one, we go with Diesel Extreme. We're going to run this every 6,000 miles or so. This is going to give you a full, clean flush of the system. And then in between those, we run everyday diesel treatment. Now, we've mentioned many times, and this would be a good segue when we get into the difference of the LX4, is that both these products are 6-in-1 products. So you're going to have a cetane booster in there, a lubricity additive, a moisture dispersant, a rust and corrosion inhibitor, a fuel stabilizer, and an injector, a fuel system cleaner. So what we're doing is we're treating the really awful, dry, ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel that's going into the truck, and we're also treating the fuel system of the truck itself. The main difference between the two, the Diesel Extreme and the EDT, in short, is that the Diesel Extreme has a much heavier dose of the injector cleaner in it that you just don't need in every single tank. So you run that every 6,000 miles or so just to get a nice full clean out. And then you can go to the EDT, which is a lot more cost effective because it's a lot smaller dosage. We don't need as much injector cleaner there, while it still lets you maintain the cetane boost, so you get that punch out of every tank, keeps the water out of there, keeps the tank fuel and stabilized, clean and everything. So that's the best thing you can do to keep those injectors clean and to keep that truck going good on the fuel side. LX4, on the other hand, is a pure lubricity product, which we're about to touch on. One of the unique things I just wanted to touch on is that it is now in our EDT. So if you're using our EDT, it already has the LX4 lubricity additive in it. And we'll go over the difference here coming up shortly. So, Jason, that's the best thing you can do for those injectors and keep that truck running good, is our two-step fuel treatment. Sean, Bearded Max says, I run all their products in my 7.3 religiously. Jared's in. What's up, Jared? Diesel Performance Podcast says, guys, I host Diesel Performance Podcast, and our listeners ask us tons of questions about oil. When can we get you guys on the show to answer some of these questions? Whenever you want. Holler at us. I'm down.
When's the next podcast?
Yeah, let's do this.
We'll be on there every week.
Yep. We love talking oil. We're oil nerds around here, and there's a lot of bad information and a lot of misconceptions about oils and additives. And at the end of the day, we really try to educate people more than anything. I mean, I know this probably feels salesy a lot of the time, but what we're really trying to do and why
Only
we have
$19.95.
Exactly. Get price tags taken in front of everything. But really, we want people to learn about this stuff. In the big scheme of things, we will sell product if people understand stuff. So our best way to market product for sale is just to educate people. Once they understand what's going on in their fuel system and their oil system and everything, they understand why these products need and why they should have it in their vehicle. If they don't understand what's going on in it, then I understand why people don't have an interest in purchasing the product. So we love getting on podcasts like yours and talking to people and taking questions. So get in touch. Shoot us a private message or shoot me an email, and we'll be happy to arrange something with you. Jason, I think we answered your question. Yeah, the specific one would be Diesel Extreme followed up by EDT. So let me know if you need any more on that. Bob Welsh is watching. My buddy there from the, they just had their finals from the Corona lockdown practice tree. Those guys are killing it. Now they just launched another 5-week tournament going on. They're killing it. It's really fun to watch.
Are you sponsoring that one too?
Yeah.
Good. And
the junior dragsters. Scott Finello, hey y'all. Keep the questions coming, guys. You got a lot. We'll get to the product we have to.
If we have to.
That's why he said the product's more of a fill-in. If you guys got questions, we like to have it. So, hey y'all, running 2011 LML original CP4. What additive would you suggest? EDT with included LX4 or run just straight LX4? Perfect question for the day.
I know. The EDT is the winner.
Yep.
If they don't like to use additives, then the LX4 is the winner.
Yep.
But it's still an additive.
Yep. But you can also top treat if you want to. So if you want additional lubricity on top of the EDT, we have a lot of people. Let's take this direct. This kind of leads us into what we're talking about today. A lot of people are asking about how much EDT you need to get to the same wear scar reduction as we see in LX4 and so forth. So LX4 can be used as standalone, especially for you CP4 guys out there. So we know this is why we developed the product, was because of the problem. For those that don't know, in short, the CP4 pump was not designed properly for American fuel standards. We see in Europe the same trucks with the same CP4 pumps on them have failure rates in the 8 to 9% failure rate.
In Europe?
I'm sorry.
1%.
Less than 1%
Yeah.
in Europe. But in Europe, they have fuel standards where the wear scar of their fuel is 460 or lower. And what a wear scar is an ASTM D 6079 test. I'll get memorized one of these days. Which is basically a pin that they lubricate a steel blank, and then they scratch a pin on this, and it's measuring how the lubricity of that lubricant there, because the more lubricity, the less scarring, the less they dig out of that metal. So they'll test that fuel in Europe, and it cannot gouge out more than 460 microns, right?
Correct.
So in American standards, we're not at 460, we're at
520.
520. That's a lot drier fuel that they allow here. That small difference in our minds of 60 micron difference actually computes to those exact same CP4 pumps in all of our trucks here in America are failing at an 8 to 9% rate. So that says everything about it. There's nothing. These are the same fuel pumps. CP4 over there, CP4 over here. There's no difference. The only difference is our fuel.
Is it what's the metric word for 4?
For 4?
Maybe it's metric.
Oh, as you say.
Yeah, no difference.
So,
No difference.
so and again, the other thing is when these CP4s fail, it's catastrophic because they dump metal all the way down the system. Now, there's actually some companies out there that make some inline filters now. People spend good money on just as protection in case their CP4 fails. Or you can just
spend less.
Spend less money and just put a little LX4 in there. So what we're doing is basically lubricating the fuel. We're lubricating the fuel to get it to get it more under that wear scar level, which we know is safe in Europe, and that allows the CP4 to run like it does over there, over here, and it takes that 8 to 9% failure rate down to the under 1%. Which, by the way, the under 1% failure rate is considered manufacturer defect. So it means they don't have a problem with it. This effectively means there's no issue with the pump at all. And the only problem is, like I said earlier, the only thing lubricating the mechanical side of a fuel pump like that, and it's actually like a roller bearing kind of structure, is the fuel itself. And once you put our dry American fuel in there, there's just not enough lubrication, and it starts shaving metal downstream. That's the problem. So the solution is very, very, very easy. Lubricate your fuel. That's it.
That's it.
So to answer your question
I
about...
think you're taking away our genius now. Like, we just lubricate the fuel.
So to answer your question of which one you should use between the two, well, frankly, both of them will get the job done, especially since LX4 is now infused into the EDT. It's the lubricity additive we added in here. But the 6 things I named that were in EDT are still in there. So if you want the full package and you want a cetane boost, you want a moisture dispersant, rust and corrosion inhibitor, fuel stabilizer, and all the injection cleaner in every tank every single time, go with EDT. If you don't want to mind for that or care for that at all, you can run LX4 and still protect your CP4 pump.
Correct.
You want to talk some numbers real quick?
Yeah,
I do.
I might have a different set of numbers.
Oh,
so
really?
I just got some new data.
Okay.
But
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
I'll cover the data I know, and you can come on the back of me there with whatever's on the other part of it. Which one is that?
That's brand new.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. All right, so...
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to forward it to you last week, and then I got drug away.
Gotcha. So this is some third-party testing that we had done on our wear scars that I just discussed about LX4. So we tested a couple different things. Wow, I got too many in here now.
Maybe there's 2 copies. Maybe I get a copy.
Oh, no, those are both the torque ones. I got you. So when we basically take a baseline of, this is a short tank unanodized diesel fuel. So this means from the refinery.
Correct.
Before all the jobbers have put all their stuff in it, just straight up diesel fuel. And the wear scar on this came up to 590. You're in a different one, but that's all right. So this fuel is at a 590. When we tested it with our LX4, we brought that 590 wear scar, which is outside American standards,
Right.
all the way down to a 260, which is way below even European standards. I mean, it is off the charts. We were putting a lot of lubricity into that. So that shows you how much that will change. Now, we also did the same thing with pump fuel, just that you would get straight off the pump at your local station. Now, that's diesel fuel that's been additized through the jobbers and all that stuff, because we always want to do that kind of test. That's a more real-world test of what they're going to have.
It's all over the place.
This is the best fuel we've ever
I know.
tested. It came out of an American pump at 363, which is incredible. Like, so that's the whole other thing. Fuel's different everywhere. If you have a good fuel source near you that is getting good fuel, you're lucky. But and something you might want to test, we do fuel testing. It's a little pricey to test the fuel, but if it's, your trucks are pricey too, you know. So if you can find a good fuel source, that's good. This pump diesel tested at a 363 micron wear scar. After Hot Shot's LX4 treatment, we got it down to 236.5 and 194.5. So even at a 363 level, which is tremendous, we got it down considerably lower. So what that's telling you is, with these treatments, we moved it on the pump fuel over 130 points and over 330 points on the short tank fuel. And if you think about that, that's just with one treatment. Typically, the worst fuel you can get legally here would be a 520. All you got to do is move it 60 points to get it within that European spec where there's no problem for these CP4s. We're moving it twice as far. So not only are we getting into that safe zone, we're getting into the peace of mind zone.
All right.
All right. What kind of data you get to bring? Because I don't know what
I've
you got.
Do you have anything from EDT with LX4 in it?
No, but that's a good question, because we often
Really
have
don't.
people say, how much EDT do I need to use to match the LX4? I see the dosages are different.
I'm not going to answer in that particular manner.
I know the
However,
answer.
I'm
I had to go
gonna
to you, and you gave me the answer.
was it more than 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, it's a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. We got a 429 wear scar with EDT with LX4 in it.
What's the baseline?
I don't know, 600.
Right.
On this, it was a little bit drier on this fuel, and it still brought it down to 429.
So it went from 600 to 429.
Correct.
So 600, which is over any fuel that we get around here. 520 is the limit. So something super dry, got it down to 429, way below the number we needed. And that was EDT performance dose,
Performance dose. Yeah.
which is 2 ounces of 25 gallons.
Correct.
There you go. So you run the performance dose of EDT, you get all the benefits of EDT, plus you protect that CP4 pump, which is a valuable investment. You got a lot there. Is that all you're sharing there? I was ready.
Yeah, that's all I'm sharing.
Oh, you got a bunch of other companies there. They get mad when we do that. You know,
This is for my use only. I have to index to see where we're at.
Ooh, there's some good names on there.
Okay. Want to see the chart?
We need to talk afterwards.
Right.
Yeah. There's some good lubricity additives out there. We tested some.
There's one.
There's one really good one. That's for sure.
Other than us. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some good ones.
There's some good ones. I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm proud to say that's the best. I have heard some people challenge us on it, and
Send them.
bring it. I'll say that much. For anybody who might be a fan of another product or anything, we don't have anything to hide here. We can take a third-party test. If you'd like to do a third-party test on it, don't even tell us. Don't even tell us you're doing it. Buy a bottle off our website. Buy a bottle off your favorite brand's website. Send it to a third-party lab. Let's see what happens.
To clarify, the lab mixes these up. I don't mix up something special and send it to them. We send them a bottle of off-the-shelf product. of both products, and the lab mixes them up.
And all these, and
reports
we
back.
should say all of these
it's,
lab
there's-
results
There's no trickery on our part by any means.
Right, and these are not
But
our
we-
lab. We use a third-party lab when we do these testing, so
Yeah.
it's not our
For-
our numbers.
Right.
So bring it. I'm cool with the test. And I'll tell you what, if you can find anything out there that tests better than our stuff, then
I want to know.
yeah, because they'll get these
'Cause
tests
it's
going
on.
again. And I'll be honest with you, Chris doesn't let them out of the lab until we actually have something better. So we're confident when we go to market that it's testing better than anything out there. So if somebody's we reformulate all the time. if we find something that can improve one of our products,
Nonstop.
like EDT. EDT's been out forever. Well, we got a better lubricity additive, so we put it in the EDT. So if one of our other companies out there that makes something else, for all we know, they could have reformulated. They could have, put something else out. And if it can test better, let us know. We'll go back to bat. This all it can do is improve the industry
Got
and give a better
LX5 in
product
the
out
lab,
there.
just so you know.
LX 5.2 or something.
Yeah, it's ready. I'm just waiting for somebody to step up.
All right. So Beatrix says, I use EDT every fuel up and every 5,000 to 6,000 miles. I use their diesel extreme. Perfect. Isaiah Purse is watching from Troy, Ohio. Michael Cassie's in. Frank Hunt Jr.'s in. Isaiah says, I've heard a lot of good things about your products. When my 04 LLY Duramac gets back from the shop, I'll be using some of your products. Awesome. Thanks, Isaiah. Glad to hear that. Make sure you tune back in and let us know what you think when you give them a go. Sean says, I also use LX over before. David Robinson's from Fort Lauderdale. You were asking earlier.
Okay.
Next oil analysis I'll send to you
Better luck
guys
next
with
week.
history. I have been using Blackstone. Yeah, David, we offer
that's fine.
oil analysis ourselves too. We do them at cost, and now we actually have a paid mailer that we give it with, so it's a prepaid. You get your sample, we'll do the analysis, and send it back. We got a guest. You want to slide in? Yeah, look who's here.
I thought I'd been there for the last 5 minutes. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
What are we talking about today?
Well, we were talking about LX4, and kind of getting to the tail end of it there, and I think
He did rat you out.
what I read a memo on.
He said you lock me in the lab until I come up with something decent.
Well, until it's test better than everything out there.
There's a little trap door for food, so it's not like
we do feed them.
it's not abuse or
They didn't
anything.
really have to lock you in. I mean, you kind of stay in there on your own.
Right. That's
Stay in
true.
there if there was no door.
The point is, we stay in the lab until we know we got something that we can strongly put behind, that we have the testing to show us the best on the market. That's why Gasoline Extreme took so long to come out until we found a new chemical for it. LX4 is there. We've got a lot of lubricity products out on the market that say they're really good, and we're open to testing on those.
It had to be better than everybody else
Right.
by at least twofold.
Ooh. I think it was well passed.
It's close. Let me see that other test.
All right, we've got a lot of questions still. So, hey, you want to take some questions?
Sure.
All right. Eric Wilkes says, I have a 2006 Dodge Ram 3500 diesel with a 34-gallon tank. I use the new EDT formula every fill-up. How much extra LX4 should I add if I want the most lubrication without wasting product and money?
I don't use any LX4. It's already in the EDT.
Right.
So I know the extra. Some of the people reported getting better fuel economy gains by putting
LX4. They're getting just LX4 alone. They're getting better.
Yeah, we need to try to quantify that this summer. Like do some tests. So we had people putting EDT and LX4 in, and they were getting increased fuel economy, but we didn't have time to really test that out.
Oh, he's probably not mic'd. Just talk loud.
I talk loud enough, everybody can hear me. You're fine. So anyway, as far as, I don't know, what do you think, Aaron? Is there any gains to be made by adding more LX4?
There's a point of diminishing returns.
Right, we start to level off. My recommendation would be a performance dose of EDT, because you're going to get the most cetane, which is going to give you the most payback on your MPGs. And as we discussed earlier,
I don't have a calculator.
performance
I was
dose-
going to do the exact amount.
the performance dose will get you under the wear scar of the LX4 that we just talked about to save your CP4 pump and get you inside the Euro spec. So that'd be my recommendation.
Well, plus I think if you have EDT at the performance dose, or even at the maintenance dose, your performance on the HFR would be lower than when we had high sulfur fuel 20 years ago.
Right.
So that fuel with that additive in it is as slippery as any fuel we've ever had. I mean, We did even more than that with the LX4, but that was more just to make a point. You know.
Sorry.
All right, so Paul Gautreau says, I have a 2003 Dodge 2500 5.9 with 90,000 miles. What should I use to keep everything running smooth? That's a Cummins, 5.9 Cummins at 90,000 miles. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, go ahead. You know it.
You're here. They want to hear from you, man.
The FR3 is going to protect anything. If it reduces the wear by 50%, it does reduce the wear by 50%. So that means that just about everything's going to last twice as long.
43%.
Close enough. Close enough. But I mean, the point is, it's just going to last.
Stixon's is 62%.
62.
Yeah, because it's at a higher ratio.
And if it's 90,000 miles, maybe start with Stiction Eliminator, and let's go to FR3 in the next one.
Yeah, or just, I mean, 90 is pretty new.
Yeah.
So FR3, we always disagree about this, but FR3 is fine. If you want to run the Stiction Eliminator, just one off the bat to see how it works, that's fine too. And then move right into the EDT. I can't believe you'd have all that much buildup at 90,000 with the fuel side. You know, diesel extreme once a year is still a good idea, just to kind of get a deep clean.
I got a good one for you. It's Paul Gordon. Paul Gordon sent you lots of emails, and he's got a good question for you here.
Okay.
I have a friend who's putting a turbo diesel in his plane. He said he was told he could run jet fuel with some amount of Marvel Mystery Oil. What I read, he may be putting his engine in jeopardy. Any wisdom from you guys? This is strictly a Chris question.
Jet fuel is like kerosene, and Marvel Mystery Oil would probably help it, bringing lubricity to the table. There's a better, more professional way to handle that, is the way I would say it, and that would be to use the LX4. So if I was, you know, if an airplane company came to me and said, or if a diesel company said, hey, we got 1 million gallons of jet fuel that we want to run through these engines, what would you use? It would be the LX4. Anything else you're adding might hurt it, might not. I mean, it probably won't, but, you know, in the Marvel Mystery Oil, I don't know like how much zinc or phosphorus or other things that may create problems later on. Where the LX4 is really designed to do that. The only thing that jet fuel is going to be missing is lubricity. So really, if you just put the LX4 in it, you're going to be set.
I remember I learned that when they have the jet dragster cars with jet engines, and they tell me, like, yeah, we just throw diesel in them. It's not cheaper than jet fuel. I'm like, I didn't know you could run a jet off diesel.
Well, I mean, you're sitting on the airplane. Don't you smell the kerosene?
Right.
I mean, it's just a cleaned up version of kerosene. It's got to be pure. I mean, you can't have any impurities in there because, you know, if you clog up a jet engine, it's, you know,
Bad news.
it's a bad day.
Bad place for that.
Everybody complains. The engine went down.
Our buddy David Berg says, do you need friction modifier in Ford diffs when using BD 7590?
That's an Aaron question.
The answer is absolutely yes.
Is it Ford? They have the friction modifier?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, there you go, David. Yeah, you do. And I think that Ford sells that separately, right?
Correct.
It's kind of like the Mopar one, right?
I wish we could quiet you down
Do
a
you-
little bit, Aaron. I mean, you just keep going
Do you
on
want to
and on
know the
about things.
This is how it always with me. See, this is why I need you back. He's supposed to be the scientist. He'll just go, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You need to make your rounds back here.
So there's a slight difference between a friction reducer and a friction modifier.
Right.
So definitely use the limited slip additive from Ford.
Yeah. That's the same thing with Mopar. They got the same thing. And it's usually like a 4-ounce bottle.
Would you believe that it's the exact same thing from Ford and Mopar, but the Chevy's different? Would you believe that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Not that I...
All right. We are over,
But
folks.
yes.
We never even got to product day. We did get into LX4. We stopped to check comments at the beginning, and we never got back in. So let me run through our last part of the news here. TV time. We got a triple header Saturday. Woo! 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 1 o'clock p.m. Truck you, truck you, truck you. Got a tech tips on our Stiction Eliminator and our EDT. So Levi's got you up on the screen there. Check out our friends over at Truck You. I think, aren't you heading down there next week?
I am. Kevin and I are going down on Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to be doing an episode on CP4 pumps and Stiction Eliminator, so we thought we'd go down and give them some guidance.
No,
We just talked about CP4s today.
Yep. And the following week, I'm going down for Two Guys Garage.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm,
Oh, you go back to Florida twice in 2 weeks. What are you gonna do, man?
Somebody's got to do it. I mean,
Yep.
every once in a while, you got to take one for the team.
You came back from Florida too early this time. We decided.
I should have.
Usually
never
you
come
bring
back.
spring back.
Yeah.
So also in the news, get the
He's
breakdown
gonna try it
on
again.
diesel blow-by. Our buddy KJ Jones, the legend, on trucktrend.com just wrote a great article on diesel blow-by, what it is. Levi's got it up for you there. What it is, how it happens. He's treating Big White, his 7.3, with Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme, the whole nine. And so great article, very, very educational. So check that article out. Shout out to my man KJ Jones out there. Hand sanitizers in stock, tons in stock, ready to go. That original Formula EDT, we are now out of the 32s. Just got the 16 ounces left. And subscribe to our email newsletter.
And have a great weekend. It says right there. How could you
And
miss
have a
that
great
part?
weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, everyone can take Friday off. That's Kyle's orders.
That's right. That's right. We'll see you next Thursday at 1:30.